Hi, I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing Live, number 33. Do you have natural vibrato or did you learn it? That's the topic today. Now, I've started a couple minutes early because I just want to see, um, just kind of establish whether or not we're live, that you can see me, and I want to be able to read the chat. So, can you let me know if you've joined me yet? If you can see and you can hear, that would really help. So we'll officially start here in just a half a minute or so. So um, let's see here. Okay. Hold on a second. Where's my live control room? And all right. There we go. Okay. So yes and hello. Great to see you guys. You can see me and hear me? Now, I'm using a microphone today. It's external mic, and I'm hoping that I had some trouble with this a few weeks ago, and I want to make sure that you can hear me all right. So, okay, great. Hi, everybody. Just a shout out to Ashley, uh, Katrina, Anetsek, Joe. Hi, Joe. Irwin. Not sure how to pronounce Evron. Officially Amber. Hi. Kurt. Thanks for being here from Algeria. Awesome. You're bluer now, so you're saying the sound is not quite as good. So I think I might have to kind of lean into this microphone. Kurt, hi. Sing high G for us. Okay. Well, I'm really happy this week because it took 2 weeks. I had a sore throat, you know, 2 weeks ago. Then last week it got really really awful sounding, and today is the best day I've had so far. So, hi, officially Amber, Ali or Ali, hi, EP, hi. So, great, nice to have you guys with me. Um, making this official start, I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing Live, number 33. And I had a question this week. Excuse me. I had a question this week. Can you about vibrato? And the question was essentially, well, I just copied it verbatim. Do you have natural vibrato, or did you learn it? And she actually had that as a part of a question underneath my um, video that I did on vibrato. And so if you go to powertosing.com, it's my website, go to the Knowledge Center, there's some categories, drop down categories, hit that, search for or look for vibrato, and it'll take you to the video all about vibrato. So I'm not going to spend that much detail. There's more detail in that video. However, I'm just going to walk you through right now what I do when I'm teaching vibrato. And here's the question. Well, here's the situation. When I was a young man, well, first, I didn't have vibrato at all in my voice. Now, vibrato, some people don't even know what it is, but it's a little wave in the voice. Ah. So I started out with a straight tone, and then my voice, and then I allowed the vibrato to come in. I couldn't do vibrato until I was 43. I began studying voice when I was in high school, And my teacher, who had her master's degree from a university here in the United States in vocal performance, told me that if you weren't born with vibrato, you don't have it. And I just accepted that because she was very knowledgeable singer, a very good singer. She had an album of opera and classical music, a beautiful voice, very experienced teacher. And so I just believed that I just was not born with vibrato. And I didn't really think too much about it. I just thought, okay, well, that's one of those things that, I wasn't born to be 6'10", so I wasn't born with vibrato either. Well, she was wrong, but I didn't find that out until 20, 30 plus. Let me see. Well, I was 43 when I began studying this technique, speech level singing, and my teacher at the time here in Utah in the United States, she said, "Oh, you can develop vibrato. You're not born with it." I said, "Really?" And it just was like so contrary to what I'd heard. And so let me just run through a couple things. What is vibrato? Well, some people, I don't really know exactly what it is. I know what it sounds like. It's an oscillation in the vocal folds, and so it's alternating pressures. If you have the vocal folds opening and closing, and then you also have the air coming up. It's as the air overcomes the vocal cords, they open and close, and so there's some alternating pressures there that are occurring in the interaction of the cord structure with the air from the lungs. But there's also something I believe, and I'm sure there's some vocal scientists that could explain this, where there's some electrical impulse in the cords themselves, and that's really what we're talking about. There's some neurons. There's some feeling aspect of the vocal folds, the vocal cords, that can begin to sense and feel this vibrato. And so if you don't just have it naturally, which I didn't, then the vocal cords can, if we introduce that feeling to them, they can begin to feel what it is and begin to do it. How's that for a mystery? I don't claim to be a scientist. I'm a singer, and I teach singing, and I can teach you to do vibrato. So one of the things, so basically what we're doing, and it's also, the vibrato is an alternating between a pitch. So if I said, it's a whole step, C to D, and the ladies could do it up here. We'll just do it on in their chest voice. Now, if I started to speed that up a little bit, now you could term that a very, very slow vibrato. So that's what it is. It's alternating between two pitches, and you get it going fast enough that this little cycle, you can hear it, starts to go fast enough that it creates this wave feeling. Now, that's one way to do it, and I compare it. If you live in a cold place in the world, and you have a vehicle, or if you've been in a car, it's been out all night, maybe the battery's a little bit low, and you get in to start the car, and you turn the switch on, and it goes you hope it starts. Let's pretend like you're in one of those vehicles. start out slow. Ah, it's a little bit of a pulse feeling. Speed it up a little bit. And I like to use my fingers because it kind of helps give me a visual to what's going on here. Now, the thing is, do it slow. And then gradually speed it up. Now, that's vibrato. Another fast way to do it, this is really easy, is just to take your hands like this while you're sustaining a note. I'll do a straight tone and start shaking my hands. And then the trick is stop shaking your hands and try and keep that vibrato going. You might have to do it a little bit to give yourself that. It's just basically you're shaking your body and it creates this vibrato feeling. But see, you're just getting the feeling going in your throat. And so it's a really awesome way to start getting this sound and feel of the vibrato. That takes a little practice, because at first when you first stop your hands, the vibrato stops. But with time and practice, the vocal cords seem to start to sense or feel. I really believe that I think our whole body has some vibrato going already. I think there's some underlying cycle going on in all the tissues. And so in my mind, vibrato is just kind of accessing what's already happening in the vocal folds themselves. And I think that's why some people are just born with vibrato, because they're just in touch with that right away. When I say born with vibrato, they just can find it. They can access it easily. For the rest of us, we have to kind of manufacture it. And I used to think that was wrong to do. I used to think that you shouldn't do that. It's not natural. It's wrong to like make it happen. But that's not true. Make it happen until the vocal folds take over, and then they'll do it on their own. Even when I say that, though, there's still an element of control. So if I said, that's a really good practice. Start and stop the vibrato. Now, here's another exercise. We'll do it up here in the women's key. She, 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 she. That sh, 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 sh is kind of interrupts the airflow, and it creates a little bit of a pulse with the air. She, 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 she. She, 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 she. Now, if I said another way of doing that would be going the opposite direction. She, 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 she. She, 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 she. Now that's the girl's octave. Guys would be down here for us. You could start it low, maybe on the low B. She, 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 she. Another good exercise to try is this. Well, it's the tongue draw. So do the tongue draw. That also creates some oscillation in the airflow. You could try it with bubbles. wee. So there's some ways to develop the vibrato, and it's everybody can do it. Anyone can do it. It's an evidence that there's a balance in your between the airflow and the muscle. If you're too tight or there's too much tension, then or if the if the voice is out of balance in any fashion, then the vibrato is one of the first things to suffer. It will slow or turn into a wobble. She. A wobble would be something like she. Or a bleat, a tremolo. Tremolo is kind of hard for me to demonstrate. See if I can find it. So it's kind of like a little lamb. So that's called a tremolo. Neither one of those are really vibrato, and it's evidence of something being out of balance. Excuse me. So the sign of a healthy voice is a good balanced vibrato, and there's about a 6 to 7 cycle per second wave of vibrato, and that's very appealing to our ear, at least in the Western hemisphere or in Western culture. Now, in other cultures, it might be different, and also vibrato is something that doesn't always have to be used in every song, and in some genres it's not. However, I think in all the exercises you should include vibrato as part of your vocalizing so that you're accessing a balanced condition in your voice. Excuse me. As you can hear, I'm still not completely recovered from my own illness. Now, I'll open this up to questions. We can talk about vibrato, or I can answer any other questions that you might have. There was a request earlier that someone wanted me to sing a high G. Now, I don't know how high a high G is, but here's middle C. And for a man, the G is in his head voice. It's all the way through the first bridge. So this is high for many of us. I couldn't sing this until, again, I was past age 43 or age 43. Ma, 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 ma. Now, I don't think I can do a high G. Not especially after coming off being ill. I might be able to say, that's close enough for me today, and that's maybe not actually singing, but it is vocalizing on a G5. Okay, now, what other questions can I answer for you? It's so great to see so many of you today. Thank you for being here. I hope that some of this is helpful. And so Sarah, Juliet, Bradley. Hi, Sarah. My first teacher had strong vibrato, and I feel like this has molded my own singing voice. I struggle with singing powerfully, belting, and I am told this may be because of my vibrato. Please help. I struggle with singing powerfully or belting, and I'm told this may be because of my vibrato. Please help. Sarah, I doubt that it's that. It may be more of the genre of the predominant genre of your teacher. I don't know. But I've met, most of the time, a problem with vibrato has to do with some balance in the voice, not necessarily that you were belting. I don't know. I really would have to probably listen. If I said, I mean, I'll just play for a second here and just do a little bratty sound, which is kind of a pseudo belt. But if I said, nay, 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 you know, so even on like a high C where it's not really my singing range per se, I can still get some vibrato in there. Or I can go really, really like very classical, and even if I were in falsetto, nay, nay, I'm now in falsetto, nay, 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 I can still generate vibrato. So I kind of question whether or not your teacher's strong vibrato is affecting your ability to belt. It's probably more of getting the coordination and getting the balance in your overall your voice, and then and then applying the vibrato. I can't be more exact than that. Most of the difficulty with my students that I've seen in the past is not really whether or not they're belting or whether or not they're singing classical, or it's usually because they're too tight. Whatever that is, whatever genre, there's too much tension, and there's too much push. Or it's possible that there's too much laxity in the voice, but I think you can even get pretty breathy and pretty lax, and still get some vibrato. So, sorry, Sarah, that's about as exact as I can get at this point. Maybe you have a follow-up there. Hi, Joe. A cold-natured car is best example, or the one that has helped me the most. You know what? It kind of gets me going. Ideally, also, I like that cold car analogy. Also, someone using someone you admire who has a beautiful vibrato to copy. Yeah, I think finding a good model out there that you can pattern your vibrato after is very helpful. Altug, hello, how are you? He said, I ascend from C4, which is middle C, to G4 with a lip trill on a 5-tone scale, then transition to A vowel. Is it the mixed coordination I am feeling on the A vowel? Well, if I said that would be a mix on an A, but if I said that would be pulled chest. So it depends. It depends on what you're on the coordination that you're getting on that G. Now, if you kept it in the same place as the tongue trill, probably it's a mix, or it's your head voice. If you open up beyond where that feeling was with the tongue trill, you can leave it. You can leave that where the was, and it's going to be in your mix. So it just depends on how, if there's any change in the vowel when you open it. Ashley, I find that I have vibrato at times and not at others. I don't seem to be able to produce it at will. I wish I could, as I think it's something that defines a great singer. Maybe we just need to practice. Well, Ashley, do you find it's like on the notes that you're sustaining that are in a certain place in your voice, like the A, the B flat, the B, the C sharp? That's the above middle C. Is that the area that gives you trouble? Is it the really low notes? Is it the really higher, up higher in your head voice range? Where in your range is it? Because maybe something is tensing up in that particular area of your voice that's causing some issues for you, that's causing the added tension is making it harder for you to get that or allow that vibrato to go. Thanks. Adding vibrato to bridge notes, strengthening them in time. Yeah, let me address. Altug asked the question: is adding vibrato in the bridge strengthening the notes in the bridge? And yeah, every one of the ways to check ourselves to see how we're doing is to do a sustained note in the bridge. If I said ma 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 ma, that's the F above middle C. Ma 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 ma. Sorry, still not in really great voice. Ma 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 ma. Now that's the G. And so if for some reason I can do it below the E and above the F sharp or something, but but I can't do it in my first bridge, then I know that there's probably tension that I am still holding on to, some kind of reach, some kind of grip. And that, ladies, the same thing would be true in your first bridge, which is the A above middle C, B flat B, C, C sharp. If those are problem areas, then it's probably not so much that the vibrato has a problem. There's probably an issue with tension and reach, and the vibrato it's like the canary in the mine, so to speak. It's an indication that there's a problem. So that's a really great question. In order to check ourselves, we ought to be able to do the vibrato on every single note in the bridge, and that's an indication that our voice is really getting healthy and well balanced, and the vibrato is a good indicator of that. Should we sing more songs or do more exercises? Is a question from Bhavya. It depends. If you're a performing artist right now and you're gigging frequently, or you have a set of songs that you do when you or if you're performing on stage in theater like I am, for example, then you probably have to balance your exercises with the songs you're singing. So I personally would probably want to go through each of my songs. I know when I do theater, I go through each of my songs. And if you were gigging, you'd probably go through each of your songs. And so you may want to do fewer exercises just to get it warmed up, and then work through your songs. And if you're not doing any performing right now, then maybe mostly exercises, and then the last quarter of your time or so, then you work on a song of your choice or a couple of your songs. But as far as technique development, you want to get your technique correct in the exercises. If you can't do the exercises correctly and with good technique, I wouldn't even do the songs. I'd wait till you've nailed that technique, because otherwise you're just going to reinforce the bad habits in the songs. Sorry. Good. Altug says it's feeling pretty relaxed on the G4, so that's a good sign. And relaxed usually is a sign that it's balanced. But if it opens up and if it opens up like I demonstrated and starts to pull, then that's not quite the right coordination. Kurt Waldig, hi Kurt. He's from Algeria. I practice 1 hour a day, and I'd hurt at the end of the session. Is that normal? This is not right method. This is not the right method question. Thank you. You know, when I first started out doing what I'm doing the technique I'm doing now, and so Kurt, I'm only guessing that you're doing the exercises that I'm teaching. If you're doing those exercises, then and you're getting sore or hurt at the end, don't do them so hard, don't do them so loud, and don't do them so long. You know, do 15 minutes twice a day for a while, and do them medium volume, medium to just not even medium loud, just medium volume. I did that when I was starting out, and it was like almost an ache. It wasn't a hurt, but it was an ache. It's like, wow, this is really feeling, you know, this doesn't seem normal. And I talked to my teacher, and he said, don't do them so hard. And that's what I did. I stopped doing them as hard, and everything turned out fine. And it's also, I was new at it. And so it's like going to the gym. You know, you go to the gym and you work out for the first time in a year or something. You're so sore the next day you can't even move. Well, I don't know that it's quite precisely that way, but I think it's related to that. You got to ease into these things. And sometimes we want to just jump in and go crazy on it. And I don't think that's wise. Ashley, I get easier on short. It gets easier on shorter notes. I find that a vibrato. Let me just see here. I'm not going to try and address that. So, hi, Jordan. Jordan's 16, and my voice type is high larynx. When I transition to my mixed voice, the sound backs away a lot, and it makes me sound as my nose is congested. Yeah, usually if it starts to get kind of nasally or sounds like the sound is in your nose, it's the larynx is still riding high. So it's a high larynx that causes that to happen. And so the way you counteract that is to go a little bit on the dopey side. And I would probably actually, Jordan, probably have to hear exactly what you're doing. Try and do the exercises as closely as you can to the way I demonstrate them, and you should be able to get rid of that. And eventually you don't even have to use the dopey sound. You just want to be able to do everything without a bratty or a dopey sound, as long as you're connected and so forth. So we want to get to our normal, natural sounding voices and be able to move through the bridges. So that's not a really satisfying answer. The bottom line is I probably have to listen to what you're doing, but normally it's the larynx coming up. Well, we kind of get this a little bit of starts to get into our nose a little bit. No, not usually, Jordan. Puberty doesn't usually have too much to do with a nasally or a sound kind of going into here. Again, it's the larynx riding a little high. So when should you start doing the MAM exercise? You mean mum, M-U-M? Mum, 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 mum. You can, I'll tell you, you can start doing those. That's fine. If you've worked through all of the exercises in Sing Higher Than Ever Before, the course, then you can add those to any of you can add up to the 5-tone. Mum, 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 mum. Or the octave repeat. Mum, 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 mum. Or the 1.5 scale. Mum, 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 mum. You can start doing those. Well, thank you. I'm glad that it's Ponek. I don't know. He's here just to support my channel. Thanks. Okay, so C Celeb says, vocal type is light chest, no chest. Can I still develop my belting voice to its full potential and get belting parts in musical theater? So, C Celeb, sure, absolutely. our vocal type, our is what we tend to do when we sing. It's not what you have to do when you sing. So what we are trying to do is the exercises for light chest, no chest, or pull chest, high larynx, or flip falsetto are designed to eliminate the problems in the voice or eliminate what we tend to do that don't make a very good product for us. So in the case of light chest, no chest, is probably because my vocal cords aren't coming together firmly. So if I can do these exercises, say ah ah ah, or na 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 na, or nay 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 nay, and really get the vocal cords together, then I start to establish my ability to be in my chest voice nice and firm. So if I'm as a young lady, if I were coming down and saying nay 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 nay, I've got to be able to do that, because if I come down and say nay 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 nay, and don't have any if the bottom falls out of my voice as I go down lower into my chest, then I don't have a good foundation. So the exercises for light chest, no chest are designed to help get your vocal cords together, really establish the bottom of your voice, as well as being able to adduct, that is, pull the cords together throughout your range. And then you move on. You'll eventually get to the point where probably you'll start pulling chest. That's the bad news, because it feels so strong and powerful. And so then you have to learn how to get through the bridge without pulling your chest voice. And eventually you get to the point where you can mix, and you can sing in a mixed voice from the bottom to the top, and have this big powerful voice, and do your, and get into your musical theater, which is what I do. How can I make my voice soft? Don't sing as loud. Is that what you mean? How do I make it soft? No one's ever asked me, how can I have a softer voice? But I would say, don't push it so hard, or relax a little bit. Let some air go through. If you were too tight and you couldn't get any air through there, you could say, wee 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 wee. Wee 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 wee. The wee 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 allows some air to escape, and that allows a little more balance between the cords and the muscle, the cords, the air, and the muscle. If it's too tight, so tight that it makes that you can't sing anything but loud. Do bratty nays help with low notes too? I think they do, particularly with a female voice. But if you're, it's like, I'll tell you, if with a little bit of a lighter coordination, which you have in the bottom, the nay 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 will help you a lot. And even better would be na na na, na na. Na 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 na. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for some really great questions, great participation. I've got to get ready for a student who's coming in or that I'm doing on Skype here in a few minutes. If you haven't subscribed to Power to Sing, my YouTube channel, please do. I would love to see you here. And I do this live every week about this time, and try and present a good topic and then do some Q&As. And then every Friday I post a video that I hope is educational and helpful. Also visit my website, powertosing.com. I think it's there's a lot to gain from it, and so I'm showing you my stuff that doesn't matter to you. But if you go to powertosing.com, which I am trying to do right now. Oh, sorry, that's the back end of it. powertosing.com and take the power test. The power test is the vocal test, and this is a video that explains how to do it. And then you start the recording, you start the music, and then you sing a 5-tone ah, ah, for the guys, and the girls are up here. Ah. Record it, take the listen to it, then answer these questions and send it in. You'll get your vocal type, or you can send me the recording and I'll listen to it and give you your vocal type. And then you go to the Knowledge Center on the website, and there's videos about each of the vocal types. This is what we tend to do when we sing. And my tends to is pull chest, high larynx. My larynx tends to go up. Or there's a light chest, no chest vocal type, which we had one of you talked about today. Flip falsetto is another vocal type. These are all things we tend to do when we sing, and you can go here and watch the video about your vocal type, what it is and what it sounds like and so forth. Then I give you exercises right for your vocal type, and then you can download these for men or for women, and then there's videos on each of the examples. There's examples of singers who who sing with pull chest, high larynx. In their case, there was like 6 of them that had surgery on their vocal cords because of it. But you can go to each one of these, depending on what your vocal type is, watch the videos, download the free exercises. So that's something that's really very helpful, and you'll get a lot of benefit from it, because they'll address exactly what your voice needs. Okay, that's at powertosing.com. It's all free. All right, so thanks for joining me today. Great to see you. I'll see you soon in another video or on our live broadcast. I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing. You can sing higher with beauty, confidence, and power. I'll see you inside the next video. Thanks.